Hey y'all, and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about how we can convert between different units, how we can change something and still have its same value. We can change the name of it and still have the same value. For example, if I wanted to change 12 inches into feet, we can use our conversion rules to change 12 inches into 1 foot. It's still talking about the same amount. If I were to look at a ruler, there are 12 inches in here, but the ruler as a whole is also 1 foot. It's still the same value, the same amount, it's just changed its name. In order to change, what we're going to do is we're going to use some arrows. The first thing that I suggest 5th graders do when they get their STAR test or when they get any sort of converting test is to draw these arrows in. They say big and small. If I want to convert from a small unit up into a bigger unit, like if I want to go from something small like inches up into something bigger like feet, I'm going to divide. If I want to go from a big unit down into something small, like if I wanted to go from tons, like the size of an elephant, down into pounds, like the size of your notebook, that would be big to small, and I would multiply. By remembering this, by remembering how to draw our arrows, we're going to be able to solve all of our conversion problems. Let's look at some examples. So the first thing that I do whenever I have a conversion problem is I write big up top and small down below. Then I draw my arrows in. When something goes small to big, I need to divide. When something goes big to small, I need to multiply. Then let's look at an example. Let's say that I wanted to change, let's go with 5 feet into inches. The first thing that I would do is I'd figure out, am I going from a big unit to a small unit or a small unit to a big unit? Since a foot is bigger than an inch, I'm going from big to small, which means I'm going to multiply. So it will be 5 times some number. Then I would look at my reference sheet, and you'll almost always have a reference sheet that will help you to know how many feet or how many inches are in a foot. So I look at my reference sheet, I find the line where it says feet and inches. I see that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So that 12 number, that's my conversion rate. That means that's what I need to multiply or divide by. Because I'm going big to small, I'm multiplying, so I'm going to multiply by 12. To find my answer, I just do the math. 5 times 12 gives us 60. 5 feet is equal to 60 inches. Let's try another one. So let's say now that I have 6,000 tons, and I'd like to change those 6,000 tons into pounds. Sometimes pounds is abbreviated as LBS. It's just one of the weird things about the customary system. But if I want to change 6,000 tons into pounds, first thing I want you to do is I want you to think, am I going small to big or big to small? If I'm changing something that's like an elephant into something that's like the size of your notebook, am I going small to big or big to small? I think I'm going big to small, which is multiplying. So I'm going to write the multiplication symbol over here. Then the next thing that I need to do is I need to figure out, okay, how much is my conversion rate? My conversion rate is 2,000, because when I look on my chart, I see that 1 ton is equal to 2,000 pounds. So I'm going to multiply times 2,000. That means I've got 6,000 times 2,000. That's going to give me a really big number. That's 12 and then 6 zeros. That's 12 million pounds. 6,000 tons is 12 million pounds. Let's look at another one. This time, let's look at volume. Let's say that I have 16 cups. I'm going to erase this so that way we have some more room. First thing I'll do is I'll write back in our arrows, big stuff up top and small stuff down below. If I go small to big, a small unit to a big unit, I'm going to divide. If I go big to small, a big unit to a small unit, I'm going to multiply. Let's say I have 16 cups. So I've got 16 cups, and I want to change those 16 cups into something different. Let's pretend that I want to change those 16 cups into ounces. And let's also pretend, let's compare, if I wanted to change those 16 cups into pints. If I want to go from cups to ounces, that's a big unit down to a small unit. Big to small means I'll multiply. So I'm going to multiply. Then I'll find my conversion rate. I know that when I look at cups to ounces, the conversion rate is 8. Be careful that you don't use the mass conversion rate and look at ounces over there, because that's ounces to pounds, not ounces to cups. There are 8 ounces in every 1 cup, so I'm going to multiply times 8. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 1 is 8, plus the 4 is going to give us 128. So we know that 16 cups is 128 ounces. It's the same amount. Let's look at if I wanted to change it into pints. When I go from a cup to a pint, that's actually going from something small up to something big. If it's going small up to something big, that's dividing. So I'm going to do 16 divided. Now I need to find the relationship for cups to pints. When I look at my chart, I see that there are 2 cups in every 1 pint. Notice that this is a different number than over here. Make sure that you're lining up the ones that are cups to pints. So I'm going to divide by 2. 16 divided by 2 gives us 8 pints. Our answer would be 8 pints. That means that all of these things are the same. 8 pints is the same as 16 cups, which is the same as 128 ounces. There's one more thing that is sometimes confusing, which is sometimes we want to move through multiple steps. For example, sometimes I have, let's go with 48 ounces, and I would like to change that one into quarts. But there's a problem. On my conversion sheet, it might not show me how many quarts that is, because there might not be a conversion between ounces to quarts. It's pretty simple. All we'll do is we'll say, what's in the way between ounces and quarts? Well, in the way I see cups and I see pints. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first change these ounces into cups. 48 ounces is how many cups? That's small to big, which means I need to divide. There are 8 ounces in a cup, so I'm going to divide by 8. 48 divided by 8 is going to give us 6 cups. Then I change those cups into pints. 6 cups is how many pints? I'm still going from something small to something big, which means I need to divide. And there are 2 cups in every 1 pint, so I'm going to divide by 2. 6 divided by 2 gives us 3 pints. Then the last thing I would do is I'd say, okay, now I know I've got 3 pints. I can change that into quarts. I'm still going small to big, which means I'm still going to divide. I'll divide by my conversion rate. My conversion rate is 2 because there are 2 pints in every 1 quart. 3 divided by 2 is going to give us 1.5 or 1.5 quarts. All we've done is we've gone ahead and we've worked through all the steps in between what I wanted to get. There wasn't a direct conversion from ounces to quarts, so I had to work through all the things in the way. I worked through cups, then I worked through pints, then I was able to get into quarts. All right, I hope that helped, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.